Okay, Thursday, September 8th. This is a pre-open video on the SPY, kind of showing what's developing. Again, after yesterday's big green bar, if you watch the recap video from yesterday, I am anticipating us broadening out higher above at least these two highs here on the daily chart. Overall, on the weekly chart, we have the potential, if we broaden out higher, we're forming kind of a 50% rule where we failed, moving down early in the week, taking out the lows. We moved to the 50% of the prior bar, which often signals a move then to the top of that bar, or kind of an outside bar to the upside. And I'll show you a bunch of stocks that have already reached that level. So you have a lot, this kind of confirmation that the market is kind of moving up at the moment. And then we kind of see in the bigger picture, even though I've been discussing after this failure bar to the downside, that I'm anticipating, a move lower towards the bottom of this range, you have to go with price action. At the moment, that is showing us we did move lower to get a 2-down month, but this could be a failure. If this weekly chart gets really strong and then into next week we take out the midpoint of this bar, that could be a monthly 2-up failure. So you still got to keep that in mind. Anyway, for now, everything's up until we really take out the open of this month. So as much as you want to anticipate things, project things, you got to watch price action. I discussed yesterday in the recap, we've had 4 days now to start the month. Well, we kind of went down a little bit and paused, to the upside. Then we gapped up, but then we came big down. We try to follow through another day. We couldn't do it. And then we bring the buying in again. So until we take out the open of the month, which is this red line here, at this point, you just got to go with what's, now there's a long way to go to really turn this trend back up, but you're going to go day by day and see if that happens. So at this point, I would get real excited to get back short if things fail to the upside. This is the way I'm thinking of it now. Now it's like, okay, who knows if this month is for sure going to head down here because we're green and a few days have gone by. We failed twice, so maybe we're starting a whole big reversal, which I'll begin to play without it being there yet. But what gets exciting now to me, given this bar and given my still projection, given we still have a long way to go in the month, if something fails up here, and this might, I don't know if it's going to happen today, tomorrow, next week, whenever, I'll point out a big failure when it happens, then I'm going to get real excited to go short again. For now, I'm going to play the long side. And like I said, first let's look at the opening range real quickly. This is the opening range after hours, and then pre-market, we started up near the highs of yesterday. We kind of came down a little bit, but now we're bouncing off that. I kind of like this, when you kind of bounce a little lower after the big green day, gives you an opportunity in some form. We'll watch the opening price action to get in long to take out the, high of this pre-market and the high yesterday, and then continue a little higher. That's what I'm looking for, some kind of opening in here that projects higher above the high of yesterday, a 2-up continuation kind of thing towards those areas. If we look back on the chart, just in general, when you have, even on the downtrends, when you have the big green kind of reversals, you do typically broaden out to the next target before, even if you're going to head lower. In some cases here, you broaden out higher, and then it kind of chopped around. When it came down here, we broadened out higher, and then we continued. There's other examples. Here's a green bar. Even though it was a big downtrend, we broadened out higher first, and then we went lower. So here we're kind of same thing. We started up, should broaden out higher, and then who knows if we go down or really get strong up. We just watch price action at that point. So I'm looking, for again, this range. If we really break strongly below here, let's just watch if we take out the midpoint of the prior day with some kind of, big red. Not really anticipating, but anything's possible. So we'll keep an eye on just opening price action, but a good either a green move, if we stay near the bottom of this range and up, or a red to green would be a good buy in my opinion. Keep that in mind. And then I kind of put some charts out. I just was browsing through many of them, different sectors. Here are the examples of weekly charts. These are weekly charts. Here's Tesla is already, these are all failed 2-down week potentials that have crossed the midpoint of the prior week and kind of target up to the highs of the prior week. So Tesla is doing that. Coinbase, even the Bitcoin stocks failed the low, moving up a little bit. Netflix has already moved to the halfway point of the prior week after testing lower. Wynn casinos, so you got the casinos, Netflix. Here's American Express doing it. If we move up a little bit, and Costco, and I think there were some other retail stocks. So in other words, they're all failed down. They're all moving up. So there's a lot of reason, a lot of sectors that are kind of driving this S&P right now, to continue a little higher here. And again, this could be a big, you never know. This 3-bar down, kind of into the halfway point of this whole area, could be the start of a whole. If we get us up 3 week, then we watch next week to see what happens. Who knows if we're really heading. If we might be heading higher, in time. But anyway, long way to go before that. For now, let's just kind of keep the play, unless we get some kind of major rejection, which I point out if it happens. Let's kind of play it up to the broadening action to the upside for the next big move here, and then kind of watch how the week ends and what that means coming into next week. And again, this monthly chart, just remember, at this point we want to see failures here that definitely project down to take out the open of the month. That'll be the way to get negative. Until then, I'm not going to be as negative on the market, and we'll just have to let price action allow us where to go. Final look at the opening chart. We got about 40 minutes to go before the open. We're kind of bouncing around here, kind of just pausing a little bit after this big green move up. So let's see if we can get the upside move we're expecting today. But again, all going to be based on opening price action and where price leads us.